go. Top banana. Right, okay. Now, 3 ways to pay. Don't get confused with your price presentation. Yeah, this is completely different. Yeah, it's a completely different thing. Alright, now it's designed to do a few different things for you. The first thing it's designed to do is soften the impact of a full money price. Because a lot of the time people are going to think, how much is this going to be?
Too expensive.
Too expensive for them. Yeah, it might have scared them a little bit. But because they want, need or desire it now, we've got to show them a way that they can afford it. It's also going to help me price condition, because it's going to be more money than they thought they was going to have to spend. So I'm going to choose a figure that's round about what it's going to cost for them, or maybe a figure that's a little bit higher. It's also going to give me the benefit of showing them how the account works, yeah, and then how the benefits in the account are going to benefit them. Yeah? It's going to help me do that, because some customers aren't going to let me present home solutions from the booklet. They're going to say, John, I'm not interested, I'm paying cash, don't talk about finance. Talk about finance again, I'm going to chuck you out. Yeah? But I still need to be able to pitch it to these people. It's going to show them a way that they can afford it, but also save them the embarrassment of saying, I can't afford it. Yeah? In fact, a lot of people can afford it, but they just don't know that they can afford it. It's going to give me the ability to pitch the home solutions. Remember, what was the key to home solutions? Can you remember?
What, at the beginning when you
when we done home solutions earlier in the week, yeah, we said what is the key to selling home solutions? Can you remember what it was?
Offer it was the answer.
Sorry?
Offer it.
Well, it wasn't offer it, we put it another way. Present it. Remember we said present it? The key to selling home solutions is to present it, give them the information. Now if a customer says, I'm not interested, I'm not interested, I'm not interested, if I don't present it, I'm never going to sell it. So I'm going to present it when they don't know, I'm going to present it. Yeah, they're not going to know it's coming.
But you've already laid out the groundwork at the beginning.
Yeah, but if they turn around and say to me, I'm not interested in home solutions, don't mention it again.
Sorry.
Yeah, I've got to work it in another way, haven't I?
Yeah, sure.
This 3 ways to pay will finalise their funding method. Yeah, they'll have it in their head. So when I do give them the price, I can give them the price on the way that they want to fund it. I can also bring their thinking forward. Yeah, I'm not looking to do it just quite yet, or I might have to save some money up for a period of time. I'm going to be able to bring that thinking forward so they can have it sooner. And it's also going to give me an opportunity to upsell. I might be able to sell them something else because their affordability is now gone up. All right, so remember this is a totally different presentation, yeah, to what you do with a price presentation. This is purely getting the funding method in place. So, Mark, we'll use you. One, because you're at the end of the room, yeah, so talk nice and clear, yeah, so people can hear. In fact, come down here and sit down here so the actual computer can hear you. All right? Now, what I need you all to do, because we're going to ask you all the same question when we finish this, is I need you all to be cash customers. Yeah, can you do that for me?
Yeah.
What are you paying?
Cash.
Finance. Cash.
Cash, right. So you're all cash customers, and not one of you have let me present home solutions up to this point. You've said, I'm a cash buyer, don't talk about it, John, I'm not interested. All right? So that's where we are as a situation now. So, we're going to go into this little pitch. So Mark, earlier you said to me you wanted to pay cash. Has that changed between now and then?
No, John.
No, you still want to pay cash.
Yeah.
Now, firstly I'm going to have to obviously run through your cash terms. Do you know what they are at the moment, our cash terms?
Well, I guess I'll have to pay a deposit of some kind.
Yeah, but you're going to need to know how much and when. Yeah, so I need to run through that with you. Okay, but do you remember earlier we said we're FCA regulated, and I give you that booklet and I said we have to treat the customers fairly. You're not interested in that, okay? But by law, I have to tell you what they are, all right? I'm probably going to take 2 or 3 minutes of your life away in doing that, and at the end of it, you're going to go to me, John, I want to pay cash. Can you do that for me?
Of course not.
Shall we have a practice?
Yes.
Go on in.
I'm going to pay cash, John.
Fantastic. Right, so let's look at your cash terms. Now I'm going to put a figure at the top of my page. I want to put it on the top of the page. I don't want you to faint. All right? It's
Okay.
not what you're going to pay for your project. It's just purely I like to use a nice round figure because it's just easy to break up. Does that make sense?
Of course.
Yeah. So I'm going to put £10,000 as a figure. Okay. And then, oh no, I was getting ready to catch you. Right? But that £10,000 is not necessarily your job. It's just a figure I'm using to show you how it
An
works.
example, like it.
And these aren't exact figures. These are just to show you how it works. All right. Now we call it option 1, cash, and that is your preferred method of payment. Now, as a company, Everest like to take a 15% deposit. Now I don't know what your maths is like.
£1,500?
£1,500, yeah. So we're looking at a £1,500 deposit on a cash payment. All right. Now, that deposit obviously sets the ball rolling for us. All right, but that's all it really does. Now, the next part of the process, do you know what that is?
You mentioned somebody come round and do a survey.
Doing a survey. That's it. So, survey is the next part. Now, surveyors, do you think they're cheap or expensive?
Well, certainly not cheap.
Yeah, they're not cheap. Have you ever used a surveyor before for anything?
Not for about 2 or 3 years, and that was, I think it was about £700.
Okay, and what was it for? Could you mind me asking?
We were looking at just remortgaging the property and that
Oh,
kind of
right,
thing.
okay. That's normally quite expensive. I only know about 2 sort of home buyer surveys. You have the full structural one or the home buyers one. And the home buyer one, I normally say is about between £300 and £500.
Okay.
Yeah. What they do for that one is they'll drive around your house, they'll look out of their car and go, it's still there, and then they'll get back in their car and they'll drive off again. Yeah, that's pretty much what you get. But if you have a full structural survey, they can actually go into the thousands of pounds. That's all they come in, they'll check all your DPCs, they'll check your energy ratings, they'll get up in your loft, make sure all the loft's right, they'll check everything on your property, boilers, etc., etc. And they'll go into the thousands depending on the size of the property. Yeah? So surveyors aren't cheap. Now, our surveyor, yeah, nothing's set in stone until he's been. Yeah, so although you've designed white windows today and they've all got fancy designs, you could take all of them out and change them to brown windows if you wanted to when the surveyor comes. Yeah, because what the surveyor's job's to do is to cross the T's and dot the I's and make any changes that you want to do. Yeah, because we're not going to manufacture from my measurements. Okay. Now, because we know the surveyor's got a very important job to do, and we know they're not cheap or they're not cheap. How much do you think we should charge you for the survey?
I don't know, is there a charge? I don't know, a couple of £100, I guess.
Okay, a couple of £100. Okay. We don't charge you anything, and the reason we don't charge you anything, Mark, is because we'll take it out of your deposit. Yeah, does that make sense?
It's fantastic.
Yeah, okay. Now, once you've decided and confirmed all of your designs with the surveyor, and your surveyor's been round, measured everything to the millimetre, rather than to the 5 centimetres like I do, what's the next part of the process?
I guess you're going to make the windows.
Manufacture, that's it. And I always link manufacture, the manufacture with also transport.
Okay.
Yeah, because they've got to make them and then they've got to get them somewhere, haven't they? Okay, so we've got to now make all of your windows to your bespoke requirement. Now, I think you'd agree at that point there, do you reckon your £1,500 is going to cover making all the windows?
No.
No. So the ball firmly moves into your court now. You're in control. All right. So we will manufacture your windows, yeah, to your sizes, your specification for your home. Won't be for anybody else's. They won't fit in anybody else's home. Once we've manufactured them, we then have to transport them to the local depot. Now we've got 2 factories. We've got one in Treherbert in Wales, one in Sittingbourne in Kent. Okay, but we can also install up in Inverness in Scotland. So sometimes that transport will cost quite a lot of money just to get your product up where it actually needs to be. Making sense?
It is.
And at that point there, because we've incurred all of these costs, how much do you think we should take off you at that point?
Well, I've had a building move done before. They normally take the deposit then up to maybe around 50%.
Yeah, they've sort of, you've got
Like
stage payments, haven't you,
yeah.
as you go along. Okay, well, us as a company, we'll take nothing off of you. Okay, so we'll manufacture them all to your specification, and all you've had to pay is your 15% deposit at the start. All right. Now, once they're at the depot, the local depot that's going to install them for you, they'll ring you up and they'll give you the next convenient installation date to them. Okay, you haven't got to take that. Yeah, you haven't fitted at your convenience. All right, but they'll give you the next available date. If that's not convenient, book them in when it is convenient for you. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, they will come and they will install your windows, and this is the very, very important bit. Okay, so you need to listen carefully. To your satisfaction, not ours, yours. If you're not happy with them, don't sign a satisfaction note. Don't pay the balance. Okay? Make sure you're happy with them before you pay the balance. Now, if it's something like a scratched frame or a cracked pane or something that's happened in transit or in installation, and we've got to remake a bit, then what I would say is pay the majority of it, but keep a little bit of contingency back for us for when we finish the job off. Does that make sense?
Sounds very fair.
Yeah, would that be fair? So, on satisfactory completion, you're completely satisfied, we've got a satisfaction note signed, we then take the balance. So in this scenario it would be £8,500. So, my first question for you, are they acceptable? Is them terms acceptable for you?
Seems very fair for a company like Everest.
Okay, great. Now, the next two are not for you. Yeah? So, feel free to not pay any interest whatsoever to what I'm doing, but I've got to show you them. Do you remember the treating the customer fairly?
Yeah, I know you have to.
I have to show them to you, and then you're going to go to me, I want to pay cash. Okay. So, the next one was Home Solutions, which obviously you wasn't interested in.
No.
Now, the first thing with Home Solutions is they pay us a finder's fee, the lender, yeah? Because remember, we're the broker. They pay us a finder's fee, so they pay us a commission basically. And what we do is we share that with our customers. We don't take it all, we give some of it back to them. It works out about 8.5%. So 8.5% of 10 grand is 850 quid. So a Home Solutions person would only pay £9,150 for their windows, not 10 grand. All right. Now, just a quick question: would you rather pay 10 grand for your windows or 9,150?
Well, obviously, I'd rather pay the cheaper price.
Okay. Well, once again, if they don't give us the money, we can't give it to you. Yeah. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, but it's not for you, so don't worry about it. Now, the other benefit of Home Solutions is they'll only take a 5% deposit. So 5% of 9,150. No, I'm not very good at maths. I don't know if you can do maths like that.
£147.
There we go. Divided by 5%. So 9,150 times 5% is 457.50 actually. So you weren't a million miles away. So we'd take a £457.50p deposit. So just once again, a very quick question for you: would you rather give me 1,500 quid deposit or £457.50?
Obviously, 457, yeah.
Okay. Well, like I say, it's not for you, but I have to show you how it works. Now, the rest of the process is very, very similar. Survey, we still take nothing off you. We'll still manufacture them exactly the same way. We'll take nothing off it. We'll still transport them the same way. And we'll still install them the same way. But on installation, you actually pay nothing still. So you have them all done to all your total satisfaction, yeah, and you still paid absolutely nothing. All right, now at this point it slightly changes. The reason being is, you know the satisfaction note we talked about here?
Yeah.
Well, at this point here you have to sign two. One for the lender, so they can release the money, and one for Everest to know that we've done the installation correctly.
But only when I'm
for
completely satisfied.
only when you're completely satisfied. Now, as soon as you sign that satisfaction note, you actually gain something. Do you know what you gain at that point now?
No.
Okay, you actually gain a second guarantee. Yeah, because the lender will now have to guarantee our guarantees. Yeah, so God forbid something did happen to Everest. You know your lifetime guarantee that we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, that lender will honour that guarantee.
I did read a bit about that in the book.
Yeah. Okay. Now, 30 days after, or 1 month, as most people know it as, you'll start paying a minimum monthly payment. Now that minimum monthly payment is dependent on how much of the loan facility actually costs. Okay, so I'll tell you what it is later if you are interested, but most people aren't, because if you're a cash buyer, you're a cash buyer. Okay, but the minimum monthly payment is a bit like a credit card. You know when you get your credit card through, yeah, you have a minimum payment?
Yeah.
Well, if you pay that, you pay fortunes, don't it? But how quickly could you pay it off?
Here and there.
There and then. So you can actually use this facility however you want to. You can pay as much or as little as you want to. It means you control the term, it means you control how much interest you pay, yeah, and it means you control your monthly payment. So you've got total control over this facility to use it however you want to. And remember, you're 850 quid in front. So you could use it to your benefit, yeah, because you already saved 850 quid. So you could run it for a period of time and it might not even cost you anything. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, but don't worry, it's not for you. Okay. There is a third option. Now, the third option is probably the one that most customers that I go and see choose. Alright? And there's a reason, it's because of the flexibility of it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you firstly how it works, and then I'm going to explain to you how they use it, yeah, for their benefit. Now, they call it 50-50. Probably don't need a rocket scientist to work out what it is. It's 50% cash and 50% home solution. So it's a bit of this and a bit of that. Yeah, it's like a mixture. All right. Now, when we approached our lenders, which are Barclays and BNP Paribas, and we said to them, look, some of our customers, say it's a 10 grand job, just use that as an example, have saved up £7,000 for their windows, yeah, but they've come to 10. Will you just lend them the £3,000? Yeah? And they turned around and went, no, we won't do that. Now, do you know why they said that?
Making money?
Well, they still make money. If you lend £3,000 and people are paying interest on it, they're still going to make money, aren't they? Okay, but that's not the reason. They said, well, the problem is if we only lend them £3,000 out of 10, we've still got to guarantee £10,000 worth of windows. Yeah, do you remember the double guarantee you got here? They've still got to guarantee 10 grand worth of windows, and they're only lending £3,000. So it's not good business sense for us. But providing your customers take 50% on the account, we'll still pay you the commission, so they can still pay 9,150, and we'll still give them the benefit of the smaller deposit, 45750. Pretty good, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Nothing on survey. We're still going to survey it the same. Yeah. Nothing on manufacture. We're still going to make it the same. We'll still transport them the same, and we will still install them the same. But this is where this one slightly changes. Now, on installation, you'll pay the remainder of that 50% cash. So in this scenario, do you know what that is? 4,750. It's £4,117.50. So you pay the remainder of your balance of 15%, do you?
Yeah.
You following me?
I follow you.
Yeah. And then 30 days after, you still have to sign the 2 SAT notes down, so you get the 2 guarantees.
Okay.
And then 30 days after, you start paying your minimum monthly payment, which is going to be half of that one. Yeah, because you're only borrowing half the money.
After 50%.
But remember, you're still 850 quid in front. So you could actually run this for a longer period of time and still be quitting.
Yeah.
Do you see how that works?
I do, yeah.
Now, there's 2 groups of people that use this all of the time for their benefit. The first group are the ones I mentioned briefly earlier, the ones that only save maybe £7,000 for their windows. Yeah. Now, after they've seen our product and all the services we provide, they're probably a bit like you. Earlier you said this is the window you'd really like on your house if it's affordable. But for those people, it's slightly out of their reach, isn't it? So if you've only got 7,000, you've got to save up another, I don't know, 2,150 or 3,000 if you're paying cash. How long could that take?
12 months?
12
18
months?
maybe?
Yeah, maybe even longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. When do you think they want these windows?
An hour would have thought.
Now. So the way that they use the account is this. Imagine somebody had 7,000. They paid a 45750 deposit, nothing on survey, nothing on manufacture. They paid a 411750 on installation because they've got it just sitting there, yeah, leaving them probably about 2.5 grand left in their bank, yeah. And then a month or 2 months into this, they pay the £2,500 they've got in their bank off, yeah. So they're now only paying interest on a couple of £1,000. And they use the money that they'd have been putting away to save to pay the minimum monthly payment. And they normally pay it off, because they've paid a big lump of it off, they normally pay it off anywhere between a year and 3 years. Yeah. Can you see how that works for so many people?
Yeah, it can,
Yeah. So they get the benefit of their first choice designs, their first choice product, and their first choice company doing it. And they get the benefit of having it now and not having to wait 12 months. Or even turning around and going, oh, I have my second choice or my third choice. Can you see how that works for so many people?
Yeah.
There's a second group of people that use it all the time, and they're what we call the cash rich. Yeah, the people that have actually got the money in the bank. Like yourself, you got your 10 grand. Now, these use it a little bit different. Can you imagine somebody having, I don't know, 9,150 or £10,000 in their bank, and they have to give all of that to someone? Do you think it leaves them a little bit exposed?
Of course it does.
Yeah, of course, yeah. It's a bit uncomfortable for some people. If you're anything like me, I like a little bit of a buffer zone, sitting back, yeah, and maybe £1,000 or £2,000 in the bank, so any emergencies I can go to it. Well, these people use it very similar. They pay the 45750 because they've got it, nothing on survey, nothing on manufacture. They pay the 411750, yeah, because they've got it. And then in the first couple of months, they pay a couple of grand off, or maybe 2.5 grand off, and then start paying the minimum monthly payment, but they get the benefit of keeping a couple of grand in their bank. Yeah, it's their little bit of a safety net. Does that make sense? So they still got the comfort of having a little bit of money there, rather than spending it all, yeah, and they used the £850, yeah, to cover an amount of payments, yeah, over a period of time. Yeah, and they get all the benefits that they can, the smaller deposit, the cheaper price, the 2 guarantees, they get all of that. Can you see how that works for so many people?
I can, yeah.
Okay, but obviously you need to pay cash, yeah?
I'd actually quite consider that 50-50.
You'd consider the 50-50.
I would, yeah.
So out of those 3, your preferred method would be this one?
I'm thinking that way, yeah.
Okay, great. So I need to give you a quote on that one, yeah? Great. How would you pay?
I'd pay cash.
You pay cash?
Yeah.
Cash.
Cash.
I'd use it and then pay it off early.
Yeah, I'd go for the 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50.
50-50.
You chose 50-50. So we've got 12 people in the room, 3 are still paying cash, yeah, and 9 people are now using the account. So how much extra money have I just done? Okay, and sometimes we change the whole room, sometimes we just, we've changed 3/4 of the room. So if I can change 3/4 of this room, how many customers can I change? 3/4 of my customers. And every time you change one, what happens then?
You get more confident, change them all.
It means you earn more. Yeah? And I've just turned that customer that thought I can't afford this to a customer that says I can afford it. So it ain't just your Home Solutions commission, it's your commission on your job. I've also got the person that wanted to nail me down to the floor, yeah, and take all my commission away. He's now going to pay more because they can afford it. So this gets me the deals where they think they can't afford it, and it also gets me the deals at a higher value with people, yeah, that we're going to pay it. Is that making sense?
Yeah, that's true.
Right? But you've got to be able to do that. You've got to be able to put it across. Was it all easy enough to understand?
Yeah.
Now, bearing in mind, this is a cash buyer that didn't want me to talk about finance. At any point, is he going to stop me? No, because I'm already, I know this isn't in interest to you, okay, but I've got to go through it for TCF, and you can just say to me, pay cash. Yeah, do you see how that works? Right, it's not a price presentation, but it's to get them to have a buy-in, yeah, to what we're actually offering. All right?